So we were talking about at the beginning of the program about how Joseph was sold into slavery and ended up going into prison. And then from prison, he ended up becoming the governor or the number two person inside all of Egypt who was in charge of distributing the proceeds and the products that was in storage because he deciphered a dream. God gave him the ability to be a dream speaker. And he told the Pharaoh about a drought that was coming. And so he was in charge of distributing. In the midst of the drought, he was in charge of distributing all of this. And his family came to see him in the midst of the drought. Didn't know that it was Joseph. Didn't know it was their brother or their son. So he went ahead and he took them in. And when he finally revealed himself, they were shocked. First, they were afraid. They thought they were going to be thrown into prison. But no, he was a kind-hearted young man. And he knew that it was a prophecy that was being fulfilled. And so I found one time in the early 2000s of my life, a same situation that I found myself with great splendor and plenty. But God was telling me that there was a drought that was coming. And so I began to store away. I began to purchase life insurance policies that I can fund. And I invested in businesses that would generate an income without me having to work. And I put myself in positions to where I'd be taken care of. My wife would be taken care of. My children would be taken care of. And then when the drought came, because the drought did come in 2007, 2008, the real estate market crashed. And a drought came, and I found myself in 2000 and 2008 where all the real estate drought that had taken place, all the banks began to collapse. All my friends and people that I knew that didn't heed the word that a drought was coming were suffering, but yet I found myself and my family living in a life of splendor, being taken care of with great, great splendor. God took care of us. 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. God took care of us. To this day, God is taking care of us. Why? Because we obeyed. Because we spent time with God. We listened to the prophets and what they were saying. We listened to the men and the women of God that would speak to us. We were able to win many lives to the Lord and change many communities. And we've traveled. I've gone to London and built businesses in Argentina and Central America. I opened up my company in 4 different regions of the planet. Here in the United States, in Central America, in India, and in the UK. Started my company in all 4 of those areas. And God was able to take care of us. And God took care of people all around us. We helped them with public companies. We prepared them with finances that they needed. Many people were able to make a minimum investment in my company. And they were able to convert in public shares and be able to live a good life. They were able to see what God can do. Hundreds of people became very, very wealthy through the company. And today I basically say it's like retirement. Even though I'm not retired, I still work and I still make available business ventures. I help people out in their areas, and I want to help you out in your area because there is a drought that is coming. When you look at the gas prices in South Texas reaching $4 a gallon, it's never done that, not $4 a gallon. And we're probably facing $5 and $6 a gallon price of gas here in the southern tip of Texas, a very impoverished community. You go to Dallas, it's a little higher, but you go to California, they're looking at $10, $11 a gallon. They're facing it right now. New York City facing $8, $9, $10 a gallon. It's not going to stop. It's not slowing down, and it's not going to stop. And people want to point the finger at the politicians, and they want to point the finger at the global community, and that very well may be true. But there's a greater power that's at work here, and we need to recognize the power that's at work here. And so we're going to take a break right now, and I'm going to come back, and for about 2-3 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about what you can do to ward off this drought that's coming. And what do you do in the midst of a drought? What do you do in the midst of a turmoil? I want you to be prepared, and I'm going to help you be prepared, okay? So don't change this channel, and this is going to get better, I promise you. There's hope right at the end of the rainbow, all right? I'm Clark Ortiz, and I'll be right back.